What's up, YouTube? It's a boy Vusi Max coming at you live from the Supreme Mobile. Alright, let's kick it. Alright, guys. So obviously you saw. Alright, guys. So obviously you saw the title of the video and you already know what to expect, right? So in today's video, I wanna address a specific group of people who are traders. Let me say I want to address a specific group of traders, right? So there's a lot of people who are sending me emails and also WhatsApp messages and stuff like that. They're asking me how do you get over opening, or how do you get over the fear of wanting to open a trade, right? And then just from this, I can tell there's a time when you want to open a trade, right? And you are hesitant because the trade is either reckless, or there's a time when you are afraid to open a trade, but then the trade is really what you're supposed to be doing at that time. As in the trade is really what you're supposed to be executing, right? So obviously from that, fucking hell, I'm distracted as so obviously from that perspective, guys, you can't just expect to open a trade without having a plan, having a strategy, and having at least market awareness to some extent, right? And what I mean by this is you can't learn, or you can't hear someone talking about forex today and want to make a profit tomorrow or something like that. So you're gonna at least have to be familiar with what you're dealing with before you can gauge how you can approach that particular thing. And in this case, we are talking about the market, so it counts, right? So what I want you guys to do, what I want me to do, I'll stop saying so much and get straight to the point with you, right? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to have a plan when it comes to trading. I don't want you to just approach trading as this thing that's magical and it's gonna change your whole life in just a matter of a couple of hours, if not minutes, right? Because that doesn't work for everybody. I mean, that doesn't help the situation that you're trying to accomplish, right? So what I need you to do is I need you to get a strategy, right? And what I'll tell you is sometimes even the strategy that's weak in terms of winning rate, as to winning to losing rate, right? Even a strategy that is weak, if followed through, definitely can produce results to some extent, right? Obviously you won't get ridiculous results, but you will start to see some growth, right? You will start to see some results, right? And you're also gonna get feedback from the market. You're also gonna know what to do and what not to do, even when following a weak strategy. So you don't automatically have to learn from what I'm showing you or anything like that. Even if you already have a strategy, or some form of basics, you can follow through with it and see what you the kind of feedback you can get from the market. Because obviously when you're wrong, you will take an L, and when you are correct or on the right side of the market, so I should say, then you will get a win, right? But what I'll tell you is, if you don't have any market awareness, if you're not familiar with the market to any extent, then you should really start with a demo account, right? And if you want to register for a demo account, I'll put the link in the description box below. There's JP Markets which can do that, and there's also XM. I'll put both of them. Back to what we're talking about, right? So the perfect trade, there isn't such a thing as a perfect trade, right? If I told you the number of times where I said this trade was gonna win and it did win, and the number of times where I said I really don't know if this trade is gonna win or what, I feel the number of both of those times would be more or less equal or the same, similar, or not far from one another. So what I rely on when I need to open a trade is I rely more on the strategy and the reliability of the strategy more than I rely on how I feel about the trade. Right? Let me repeat so it sinks. What I rely on more is the reliability of a strategy more than how I feel about a trade. So even if I feel like, you know what, this trade is really like messing with my nerves or something like that, I'll still go through with it, right? If it checks all my boxes in terms of what the strategy says I should look for before I open a trade. So for instance, I'll spot a nice uptrend, right? So when I look at that uptrend, it might be too volatile, meaning like the movement is too chaotic or something like that, right? But if the structure of the chart is like, let's say if the structure of the chart has identifiable highs and lows, peaks and bottoms, right? Then I spot an entry and I look for the recent high and the recent low, and I can see both of those things and I can clearly see where the reversal is in that uptrend. Then even if I feel like it's too volatile, I can still go in and have a safety net of saying that like I'll have a smaller lot size, because if the trade goes against me, you know, like I don't want to incur like so much losses as to like cancel out my weekly gains or the monthly gains or whatever that I'm currently on, right? So there are ways to attack this thing when it comes to expecting the best out of every trade. Sometimes we as traders like shoot ourselves on the foot, because we have this ridiculous lot sizes, and after a win you are so used to that high, or you are so high on that profit that you made, that you're constantly like, or you immediately looking for the next win, and you want the next one to be even bigger than the previous one. And it really works like that. And what the kind of approach I take when it comes to my own trading, I think of my trading as like, I take it the same way I do take it when I go bowling, right? So for those of you who don't know what bowling is, so you get that ball and you must like kind of, I don't want to say throw, yeah, you kind of throw the ball forwards, right? And you must hit those little things. I don't know what we call those things, but I'll just put a picture of those things right here. So you take a ball and you must throw it, and whether or not that ball is gonna hit all of those little things there at the front, or if it's only gonna hit one of them, you never know. But you just try your best to keep the ball between those two lines. So what I do is I execute the same trade, not on the same pay, but the same trade. If I'm buying or if I'm selling, I execute the same setups. I execute the same setups time and time again. And like from my strategy, I already know that I'm gonna have more wins than losses, right? So I keep executing those trades again and again and again and again, and like I'm now at a point where I don't even have to think about it. I just execute and then I bounce. Like it doesn't affect me emotionally to any degree at all. That's how I am right now. So now let's go back to the bowling analogy, right? So with bowling, you keep throwing that ball, right? You might like miss, you might leave two and hit everything else, and two of those things will remain there or something. But then there's gonna be a time where you're gonna hit a strike, and by a strike I mean you're gonna hit everything, and there won't be anything left there. So it's the same with my trading, in the sense that I do the same thing over and over and over and over again, and then every once in a while there's that trade that covers, let's say like if I had a 2-week winning streak, right? There's gonna be that one trade which is gonna cover all those gains I made in that 2 weeks in one trade. But the thing is, you never know when it's coming, right? So that's the only way I would classify that as a perfect trade. But it's not something that I'm like, I know that this is gonna be a perfect trade. I just keep executing the same thing, and then that, like, every once in a while that trade comes. Like, it can either cover this week and last week's gains, or you can cover this whole month's gains, or it can cover a 2 months gain. Like, in forex, anything is possible, guys. You can make what you made in the last 6 months in a week. You can make what you made in the last year in 1 month. That's how like unpredictable, that's how unpredictable the highs are, right? So I just wanted to get this message across to you guys. Like, I've been doing this video. I think this is my 3rd take now. I've been trying to articulate this to a level where I feel like I'm satisfied, and with what I just felt now, I feel like you guys will get something from this. And if you do, just smash the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you guys on the next one. All right, thanks for watching. Peace out.